Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can get updates when we upload new videos. So we will be making this deep neckline in today's tutorial. We are starting with the drafting. So to start our drafting, I've already marked out some points to make it fast. I've marked the shoulder to the nipple line, under bust, and the waist length where the dress will get to. So I've marked my bust span as well, which is 4.75. So I'll be using this my red marker to do other part of it. Now we'll be taking our circumference. The circumference has to do with the round measurement. That's the round under bust, round waist, and so on. So I'm just going to take the distance between the under bust measurement and then the waist. It gave me 2.5. So I'm going to use that for my dart. So 2.5 divided by 2, that means I have 1.25 to the other side and to this side. So I just take those points. The same thing I checked there. It gave me 1.5. So I have 0.75 on both sides. And then I'll be connecting this and do my contouring to get my bustier shape in it. To make my bustier shape, so I fill in the gap there. The distance that is there has been filled up. So to make my bustier shape, I'll just come down by half an inch from the nipple point. Then I'll use my curve ruler. So I'll do the same thing to the other side. And then my contouring has been done. This dress now have a bustier shape in it. I want to give it a princess dart. You can see that I extend my line up a little. I extend it to about 1.5. So from that point, I will be drafting my princess dart bustier. You can see. Next, I want to draw the point for my deep neckline. So it's stopping inside the waist. So I just come up by 1 inch, and from this 1 inch I'll draw a V shape connecting to the princess dart line, as you can see, because it's really wide. Some V shape are not some deep neck V shape are not so wide like that, but for the style I'm making, it's very wide. So all this place is going to be the net, while the other side is going to be my Ankara fabric. So the next thing I'm going to do is my neck line. I'm using neck width of 3.5 and then depth of 3 inches. So I'll just connect it again with my curve ruler. Initially I mark at 3.5, but I decided to use 3 inches because the neck is not so deep. I just want to cut this out so that we can have a kind of a reduced pattern on the table. So next I'll be marking my bust dart in it. To do this, I extend the princess dart line with about 1 inch, and After drawing to about 1 inch, I'm going to come up from that our initial dart with 1 inch and then come down with 1 inch, and I'll be connecting this. As you can see, I'll be connecting it to the dart line. So this will give us our boss dart in it. So I'll just try to blend this, and then I'll be changing the direction of my armhole. While cutting, you see what I mean by changing the direction of my armhole. I just draw a new armhole curve there. So I'll be cutting this out, starting with my neckline. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, like it, share and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now you can see what I'm saying about changing the direction of my armhole. You can see I didn't cut on the blue line. I'm cutting on the new armhole I drew. So here I will be cutting out my shapes. So that's for my deep neckline, the V shape first. And then I'll be cutting the bustier shape in it. So you want to do this gently, don't cut into your pattern so it doesn't affect your measurement. So this is what I have. I'll be adding 1/2 inch on those points while cutting on my fabric, but the other part there is allowance in it already. So I pin it down, as you can see. So my 1/2 inch is to be considered there, but for the side panel I added 3.5 inches on the side. I prefer to have enough allowance. I can trim out if I wish, but on the nipple line or on the bust pan line, I didn't add to it because it has been calculated in my measurement. I still go ahead to extend this armhole. I really want to be careful. I can trim off. It's better to trim off later than to have shortage. So I'll just go ahead and cut everything out. You will notice that even though I use pattern, I will still cut my center panel with Ankara. Okay. This is my center panel. I'm still cutting it with Ankara. Why? Because the client does not want her body to be showing like it is in the picture I showed earlier. Even when I double the net and place it on the skin, it's still showing. So I decided to double the net and place it on the Ankara fabric. Next, I'll be cutting my paper stay. I'm using my paper stay on my lining. So I'm placing the Ankara to cut the paper stay, and after cutting, I went ahead to gum it on my lining. So I didn't cut my lining first. It's the paper stay that I use to trim out my lining. So I'll just set this aside and show you what to do on the main fabric. I'm placing the two nets together, both right side faced up, Then I placed it on the Ankara fabric. You can see after placing the second layer, you can see the Ankara is still showing, but after placing the second layer, it's not so obvious again in it. So I went ahead and pressed this down, and then the next, okay, let me just show you how to place this. Remember that small piece? I went ahead to join it on the center, and then this is what I'm going to have at the long run. So if yours does not have Ankara, you can just sew straight to it, no lining, no Ankara. You use the Ankara to turn it. So first I'm going to join this together. I will notch this side a little and then place it. Just look at the way I'm placing it now, and that is how it is going to be sewn on my sewing machine. Remember, the right side of the V shape is the net, so I'm placing it such that my notch is at the point or at the center of the little one, and then I'm going to sew it. This is what it will look like after sewing, and then I'll do the other side. I'll sew it now and come back to show us. You can see after sewing, I gave it a press, open up the seams, and so I want to go ahead and sew the bodies together. I'll be placing my wording in it. I already cut out my wording, both for the center piece and for the side piece. So I will start sewing from down, from the lower part. I'll sew it upward and to the other side too. So after sewing, I just want to trim out the wording so that it won't be bulky on the body or on the breast, on the breast area. So I just trim out only the wording. Please don't make mistake to trim into your fabric. So I trim the excess wording. You can give this a notch before ironing it. So I did the same thing to the second side, and this is what it looks like after sewing. So you can see, due to the weight of the fabric is pressing down at the center, but it's not going to look that way on the body. So you can see it on the mannequin. This is just the front bodies. You can go ahead and do whatever you like to the down part. Maybe you are giving it a flare, or you are making a long gown, whatever you are doing. So you can just go ahead to continue from here. I hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope to see you in other tutorials. Have a wonderful day. I love you all. Bye.